Hi, welcome to Mediascope TV. Today we are here with two important guests from Doctors Without Borders, MSF. David Noguera, the president of MSF Spain, and Silvia Moriana, MSF's Innovation and Transformation lead in Barcelona. As all we know, MSF is a global medical movement with 40,000 staff across more than 65 countries. They act fast to save people's lives in conflict zones, natural disasters, and epidemics. Now we will talk about how MSF works, how they use innovation in humanitarian aids, and the current situation of the world. Welcome, thank you for being with us today. First of all, I want to ask both of you about your motivation to work for MSF.
My personal motivation to work in MSF, it has always been related basically with the main mission of MSF, which is basically providing care to victims of crisis, humanitarian crisis and natural disasters, and being able to alleviate their suffering. So that's, in my case, basically.
No, I think that with Silvia, we've been a long time in working with Doctors Without Borders now, with MSF. And I mean, if we stay so much time, it's because we share the same motivations. Basically, we believe that it's the right thing to do, to try to save lives, alleviate suffering, and restoring dignity to people trapped in the most violent and crisis situations in the world.
So, how does MSF manage operation with so many staffs in so many difficult places without compromising its principles?
We have more than 40,000 people working now in the organization, and what we do is we do operations directly in the places we intervene. We make sure that we have both national and international staff providing care, and that's basically the way we organize how we work. We have offices and projects in more than 70 countries, and then we have also offices in places that help us fundraising funds to support those operations, and also recruiting experts that help us providing these medical activities in the field.
No, and all this. No, but I mean, what Silvia just mentioned, and I mean, at the end of the day, is a teamwork of these more than 40,000 people that believe in the social mission of MSF, and with the support of all our donors, so we can implement programs. And yes, of course, we have a number of principles. We believe in a humanitarian aid that is independent, that is neutral, that is impartial. We believe in medical ethics also. We believe that, you know, as doctors, we have the right and the obligation to treat patients regardless of origin, nationality, color, race, religion. So basically what we're doing is we're fulfilling our medical and humanitarian vocation through MSF. MSF is not more than a tool to fulfill a principle of humanity. I think we all care, we all have inside.
MSF gathers huge data about war, conflicts, starvation, epidemics from the fields. How do you apply innovation in humanitarian aids?
Actually, innovation for MSF is basically about creative problem solving. Our teams in the field, they faced a lot of challenges, and sometimes the standard way we used to do things is not serving anymore, so that pushes out to look for a creative solution. So we're having several initiatives that goes from, for instance, providing health at distance in very remote places with telemedicine support, to new protocols, for instance, of treating some diseases, and all different ways of staffing our field teams in a way that it's more adapted to the needs of the population we try to work for.
So, can you tell us about your projects and research to deliver healthcare to more people?
As I was saying, there's several things. Let me, for instance, explain this project we're having to help our teams that work in very remote places to develop their skills and competences to better perform their work. So we're sometimes in places which is very difficult to have specialized medical profiles. So what we try is to help the people that it's in the field with e-learning solutions, like providing learning at distance. So we have this initiative now called Tembo, which is the possibility of training a lot of our staff, but in distance using internet platforms that allow them to see from a very specific video that shows how to perform a special activity, to access, for instance, other colleagues in other places through a community of practices.
How does working in conflict zone with people who can't reach their basic needs change one's mind?
I think that you kind of transition. It's different when you start than when you have some years of experience. I think that the initial feeling is a very strong one. When you move out of your bubble of comfort in Istanbul or in Barcelona, and then you make it to places where hard things are happening. And it's a life-changing experience. But when you believe and when you see you're able to have a big impact in the lives of people and the well-being of some communities, that's a massive reward. And I think that when you evolve in this job, you get a better understanding of how the real world is. But we still, even if we've been in MSF almost for 20 years now, we still have very strong feelings about what's going on. We still feel an element of rage. We think it's very unfair to see a malnourished child die, or to see a pregnant woman who has no access to proper medical treatment, etc., etc. So it's a mixed feelings. In one hand, yes, it's true that we have rage, we have frustration sometimes, because we would like to do more and we would like to change things. But on the other hand, there's a lot of positive things that happen. We have a high impact on people's lives and communities, and you really have a strong feeling that what you're doing is fundamentally right. So that's quite a rewarding feeling too.
Today, conflicts and fights are happening almost all over the world. As two people who take actions, take humanitarian actions, I'm wondering the current situation of the world in your eyes. What should we accept from the future?
Actually, this is a discussion we're having now. No? When looking at what should be our future strategic plan, we're thinking of the trends that we're seeing and how these trends are going to have humanitarian consequences. And what we can see is that if you look at how demographic and aging population, or climate change, or the economic and social trends that might imply higher inequality, or the patterns of conflict, we can see that the humanitarian consequences are going to be more complex and of higher scale, and this is something we have to take in mind. But also there are opportunities, because you can see technology or science evolving in an exponential way, and that can be also something that you can take into account to try to solve some of these other challenges. No?
I think there's reasons for concern, but there's also a lot of reasons for hope, and even if maybe the political and security situation in the world is not evolving in the right way, we're going to remain engaged, because in MSF we are stubborn people. So we're going to keep going, because while we keep saving lives, regardless of the general context, we're going to commit to that mission. So, but certainly we need help. We need everyone, not NGOs, but the entire of the society, and particularly places like Turkey, advanced societies like Istanbul or Turkey, to play a significant role when to trying to alleviate the suffering of this population trapped in this humanitarian crisis.
Thank you so much. Today we were with two important guests from Doctors Without Borders. Thank you for watching us.